mean, like you said, only a 3-point game. The Lynx won game 1, but they've lost 2 in a row since then. And even that, I mean, that was an overtime 2-point loss for the Liberty. But 30, well, let me just check one more time. I think 30-11 from Stewie. Yeah, Brianna Stewart, 30-11.
Man.
In 36 minutes.
She's crazy. She is insane.
That'll get it done.
Yeah. And their next game is tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right. Then we will see. And where is it? That's the next point.
Oh, my goodness.
It might be at Liberty tomorrow because it was at the Lynx just yesterday.
I think it's at the Lynx.
Oh, Lynx again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The Target Center.
Interesting. Okay, Target Center. All right. Then we will see how that one wraps up. Now, we have to acknowledge this jersey here. And talk about the most current sports things happening, which is the World, well, not the World Series yet, but the NL.
Almost there.
I know, exactly. They're fighting to get to the World Series, the NLCS and ALCS.
Yeah.
All right. Give us the update, Dan. What is it? What do we need to know about your guy, Aaron Judge?
Well, I remember for sure last time we were here, I was talking about how everyone needs to get off Aaron's back, about how, yeah, he's not clutching the postseason, whatever. Well, since then, you know, he's kind of broken out a little bit. He can still do a little more, but it's tough when you're Aaron Judge because the bar is like here.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody else's bar is like here. So if they do that, great. But if he does that, it's like, come on, man. Yeah, no, but the Yanks are up 2-0 in their series. They're going back to Cleveland today. That game gets started pretty soon here. I mean, only an hour, a bit out from an hour, you know, us recording here now. I'm pretty scared. Like, I'm pretty scared, but it's not like, oh man, the Cleveland Guardians really scare me. It's like,
yeah.
Ah, man, how are the Yanks gonna mess this
Yeah.
up? Like, how are the Yanks gonna mess this up? And I said it, I'm pretty sure I said it when they were playing the Royals, but like, they were so much better than them. And, you know, the Guardians are a great team. Mm-hmm. They, you know, whatever, they won the Central and they had maybe the second best record in the American League, but like the Yanks are better than them. They're so much better than them. Like,
but sometimes that's the scariest thing.
When
it's like you know their potential. Now the only thing to do is to just not mess it up.
Yeah. Well, and then speaking of mess it up, on the National League side, the Mets could potentially be messing up the potential of a Subway Series. They're down 2-1. They lost, I think, 8-0 last night to the Dodgers.
Nothing.
They've lost 2 games in that series. They've been shut out. Yeah, 8-0 last night, and I think it was 9-1 in game, or 9-0 in game 1.
Ooh, they're really messing up this series.
They're messing up the potential Subway Series.
Do you think that they're going to come back?
They could. I mean, you know, CS is a 7-game series as opposed to the DS, which is just best of 5. So they're not playing. No, they are playing today. They have prime time tonight, which I don't know how I feel about that. Them having prime time over the Yanks, but like, I get it. I guess. I mean, Yanks or Dodgers Mets is a great matchup, but like. New York Yankees. But, yeah, no, they play at City tonight. 7 our time, 8 their time. Who's pitching? That's always the question. That's what I always tell you. You're like, who's going to win this game today? Let me tell you who's pitching.
Look at the pitcher.
Look at the pitching matchup. Like even last night, like
Severino.
Yep. Jose Quintana was pitching.
Okay.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, so that's the preview. We previewed that last night. It's Yamamoto versus Quintana tonight.
How do you feel about that matchup?
Quintana's kind of a journeyman. He's been in the league for a long time. I have memories of him on like the White Sox a couple years ago, I think, just like pitching pretty well against the Yankees, and me being like, what? What's going on? Yamamoto is, you know, big money arm for the Dodgers. He got signed, I think, this offseason for like 12 years, over $300 million.
Oh my gosh.
Despite having never thrown a pitch in Major League Baseball. And he was pretty mediocre in the regular season, and he's been pretty mediocre in the playoffs.
I need to go into baseball.
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness.
Me too.
I could throw a ball.
I still got time.
Yeah, you do. For sure.
For the Yanks tonight, it'll be Clark Schmidt, the righty, against Matthew Boyd for Cleveland. Matthew Boyd's just another guy. It's like, yeah, he's a talented pitcher, but the Yanks should cream him.
Okay.
Let's be real. Like Matthew Boyd, we're rolling out Matthew Boyd. And all right, I'm gonna rein it in a little bit.
I mean.
But like, there's just absolutely no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for the Yankees. I mean, Matthew Boyd's pitched well in this postseason. He's a good pitcher, and he's a lefty, which the Yankees have struggled against left-handed starters all year.
So then what do you feel like the Yankees' problem is? When they get into these situations where they're like, you are better than this team, but then they just go and mess it up. What is the issue?
It's always just getting the big hit at the opportune time. Like, in, I forget what game, in like game 2 against the Royals, they walked 9 times and they scored like 3 runs because they had base runners all night, but at no point could they get a big hit and just put up a crooked number. Like they scored 1 run every inning and they only scored 3 runs. Like, you know, if they had gotten 1 big hit in 1 big situation, it would have been 5.
Yeah.
And like that's a big difference, obviously. And even in years past, coming into every Yankee postseason run, it's like, okay, the offense, we see the offense, we know what they can do, but do they have enough pitching? And then they get bounced because the offense can't get a big hit. And like the pitching is always good enough. Like you look at the pitching and they're like, okay, well, they only gave up 3-4 runs. This was a winnable game kind of thing. And again, they haven't been getting the big hit as much, but I think they've been playing lesser competition. Like, I'm sorry, Royals and Guardians fans.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the New York Yankees in 2024. Like you put those 2 teams together, it's like, well, one is clearly better than the other, and one should clearly win. So, with all that said, they should win this series, no problem. I shouldn't say that. I feel like I just doomed myself by saying that. No.
Maybe I should say it. They should win the series, no problem.
They should win this series. But I just don't think that they can play the same way they have and potentially have a chance in the World Series, because both the Mets and the Dodgers are better than the Guardians, and the Dodgers are, the best of the 3. So, they can't play the way they did against the Royals or even Cleveland and win it against the Dodgers. I don't think so.
No, I get that. They need to, if they make it, they need to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about last game. Like they won last game handily. I think it was like 6-3, but like they scored their first run on like a dropped pop up in the infield.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I get what you mean.
The Guardians are just like actively trying to lose this game right now. Like, and I'm like, that's just. I'm just like watching. Like,
they're giving it to them.
I'm like, yeah, if y'all don't win this game, this series, like, and in game 2, like. They scored 2 runs off like wild pitches and pass balls, and like they're just giving it to you.
Yeah.
Like,
and don't expect that from the Dodgers.
Right.
Who is probably going to be, in my opinion. So.
It's it's looking that way. It's early, but it's looking that way.
All right. Well, we shall see. Eventually.
Eventually, we'll get there.
Where's the World Series even being hosted?
It's between
the 2 teams.
Yeah. So the Dodgers had the best record in.
I think that was a dumb question.
Do they maybe have the best record? Well, in the NFL, it's neutral.
Okay, in the NFL, it's neutral.
Yeah. The Dodgers had a better regular season record than the Yankees. So if they come out of the National League, it would be them first 2 in L.A., next 3 at Yankee Stadium, next 2 in L.A. But if the Mets win, the Yankees had a better regular season record than them, so they'd be the home team.
All right. Well, heard it here. We'll keep you guys updated on that. It's not East Texas related necessarily, but it matters. And we had an East Texan pitch for LA.
Yeah, and I think Michael Kopech, Longview's very own, he got the win last night.
All right then.
He got the win last night.
Yeah, it was Kopech.
It all comes back around to East Texas.
Yeah, everything always falls back around East Texas. But thank y'all so much for tuning in and joining. I combined it for another Beast Texas Breakdown podcast. Make sure you guys continue to tune in, join in, all the same. See y'all.